Good morning, Michelle Saxman here, and ready to share with you some time with Jesus Calling by Sarah Young on December the 7th. I am with you in all that you do, even in the most menial tasks. I am always aware of you, concerned with every detail of your life. Nothing escapes my notice, not even the number of hairs on your head. However, your awareness of my presence falters and flickers. As a result, your life experience feels fragmented. When your focus is broad enough to include me in your thoughts, you feel safe and complete. When your perception narrows so that problems or details fill your consciousness, you feel empty and incomplete. Learn to look steadily at me in all your moments and all your circumstances. Though the world is unstable and in flux, you can experience continuity through your uninterrupted awareness of my presence. Fix your gaze on what is unseen, even as the visible world parades before your eyes. Two takeaways on this one. One is the awareness of his powerful presence, falters and flickers. And if we can go back a couple of days to when we talked about his presence and his peace and contemplating what does his presence feel like? And for each and every one of us, I think it's going to be individual and unique and also depending on our circumstances. And for me, I used words like wisdom, discernment. So think about for a moment separating presence from peace, that calm, that stillness. When we are in his presence, think for a moment about what that feels like for you. And then I'm going to tie that into the very last sentence, which is fix your gaze on what is unseen. And that is what our Heavenly Father promises us when we sit in his presence, are things that are unseen, that wisdom, that discernment, that calm, different comments that you all made on that post when we're in his presence. But in our humanness, we are the ones that falter and flicker. And I had an awareness, it was this, when your focus is broad enough to include me, and when your perception narrows. So in that contrast of opening our gaze and then focusing in. And y'all, it made me really think about the pupils in our eyes. And when we are actually physically experiencing darkness, the pupil actually gets larger. And then when we are out in the light, the pupil actually gets a little bit smaller. And so when we are in circumstances, focusing on the details, deep in the darkness, in the details, in the muck, in the mire, in the circumstances, then y'all, that is when we need to ask our Heavenly Father to broaden our focus, bring it back out, and allow us to see. I mentioned a couple of days ago, the things, if we placed auras, lights around every human thing or everything that God has created, around that golden glimmer that we see in, in old paintings around the saints and things like that. If we could see an aura of light over all of God's creation, broaden our view, see things from his circumstances. And then when we are out in the light, our pupil gets to get smaller and we actually get to focus on his powerful presence a little bit more. So just it just kind of came to me as I was reading when we talk about broadening and then focusing and narrowing. And it really made me think about the pupil. So when we are in the midst of it, when we are in the thick of it, then that's when we need to ask our Heavenly Father to broaden our vision. And then when we are out in the light, and even I'll say when we take things and problems and fears and concerns and we actually bring it to the light, it holds much less power over us. So those are two of my takeaways for today. I wanted to mention these feelings of fragmented and incomplete. That's what he guarantees us. When we drift away, when we falter and we flicker, we are going to feel fragmented, incomplete, and I'll just say disintegrated, as opposed to fully integrated, mind, body, heart, soul, strength, fully aligned with the light and love of our Heavenly Father. So those are my takeaways for today. Just something for y'all to think about. But his powerful presence, it is us who wanders. We falter and flicker. We get caught up in circumstances. our vision gets very, very narrow, and we can invite him to kind of broaden that and bring us that peace and back into his presence. Y'all have a super blessed day. Stay connected to the vine, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.